we would expect them to lock this in. And then on the side of eStar, you talked about how great of an Ezreal player Wink is, so just go back towards something that works.
Massive damage output in game 1. You know, 54% win rate on the champion, but I will say, if we had a stat that said top 8 teams with Aphelios, it would be closer to 100%.
You know, and also interesting that FPX do ban out the Thresh themselves, so that's not going to be an option for them to pair with this Aphelios. So now I would expect them. Come on, don't get surprised. Wink's not going towards
the new counter.
Draven counters everything all at once.
Draven wins a lane. This, again, are you a fan of the Galio second time around?
No.
This early on as well, right?
Yeah, it feels like Galio is good in certain situations, especially when you want to build these sort of comps that want to run in, but just blinding Galio in first phase. We do know that this is a flex restart, though. Chelsea has played it bot lane once, but...
The set's also a flex. That could have been cool here.
Yeah, and I'd say set is a much better flex. Obviously, flexes into more roles, and I'd say plays a more dynamic role in a team composition.
Very much agreed. You will see Tian's Lee Sin, though, here for game number 2, so always a chance we get jungle as the R3 here for FunFun, but let's see where they go next, because there's the support on the cards. Crisp on Leona has been really good in the past.
It just has been one of his champions, and with Thresh gone and knowing Crisp, you would expect it to be the Nautilus of Leona this time around, opting towards that Leona. So we have a lot of engage coming out for both sides, and this is actually a fun one to me, going back to the Jarvan, because this is where eStar's picked up most of their wins in spring, and this is actually his first game on it in summer.
Which is nice to see. I mean, especially just when you have the combo of Galio and Jarvan, we know what that piles onto.
And let's remember, eStar were the level 2 gank bot team in spring. Every time they get Jarvan, level 2 or 3, they would be in that bot lane trying to snowball Wink and Xiao.
I mean, the only thing different would be maybe it's a Rumble instead, right? The hot pot we coined with FPX worked a lot with eStar. We'll progress forward, though, because the pick and bans are coming out pretty fast. We've got the set banned away just in case. So FPX is assuming that it could still be a support / mid flex to add into the mix.
Like, assuming they want to keep that flex, right? Which, if they use it as a flex, you would think they would. They should 4-pick top, which, seeing that Ornn and Wukong are banned, makes you think, okay, he's probably going to go towards that Volibear once again. Of course, Mordekaiser is still open, so that is something else he's played.
I want to elaborate here. Xiaoxi's also played Shen support. So, that, in a way, something I'm sure Xiaobai's playing as well.
Yeah, and here, we've already said how these teams especially, it really comes down to pulling out their preference, and actually going towards a Tahm Kench is
jungle last pick.
Pretty different. Not jungle last pick.
Sorry, you know what I mean. Top lane last pick.
Yeah, so we are going to have the Galio-Jarvan combo coming out of our mid-jungle, and then it's going to be all about looking for sides, but Ezreal Tahm Kench is not the side lane you'd expect him to play around, right? So maybe this game is going to be giving some attention towards Xiaobai, which isn't actually that surprising. They have opted into doing that more often. And here is Khan taking the other Xiaobai champion, so defaulting like game 1, saying, hey, I'm going to challenge the depth of your champion pool.
So where do you go? Because FPX, I know this could be a big lock-in for Doumbé. I was going to ask what you're going to run into that top lane Mordekaiser, but I'll hold, because Doumbé on Kassadin, his first ever pentakill in 2020 spring picked up on this champion.
I mean, you could look to try and play more of this kiteback style, pick something like maybe a GP, which does well into the Mordekaiser, puts a lot of threat on the Aphelios, but not too nice up against something like a Lee Sin, which has some gank and kill threat on you, as well as a Kassadin, who's extremely mobile.
All right, there's volley again.
So the depth of his champion pool has been challenged, and right now Xiaobai is up to 4. But this time around, eStar having a lot more of an obvious, clear identity, right? You have the mid-jungle duo coming out. Once again, we have this Volibear who can stop turrets from working, so you would expect him to look up towards that top side, but at the same time, this is why I like that FPX have used the Mordekaiser, because you have the Death Realm to dissuade those plays.
Because I was just about to say, it looks similar to Game 1, except the elements are a little bit different, right? You dive towards the top side and disable that turret. This is a comp that didn't come online in Game 1.
At the same time, though, we saw eStar opt to play towards bot side off the advantage their 2v2 lane was able to get. And Tahm Kench is still a strong lane champion, right? You have the Tongue Lash to punish the Leona. We saw Wink was pretty much hitting every Q as if they were point and click. So maybe they will go towards that 2019 Ezreal Tahm Kench style of looking to use that as a dive catalyst.
Because it's great to see Tahm Kench in the LPL because it's not always that defensive maneuver. I know you and I have talked about this a lot, and coming off 2019 Worlds, it was very much about how Crisp uses Tahm Kench because LWX and Crisp was Varus Tahm, dive the bottom lane, use it aggressively rather than defensively. So eStar, the curiosity is here to see if it's the same thing.
Even RNG would use this exact same bot lane, Uzi and Ming, playing Ezreal Tahm Kench with Karsa and Xiaohu roaming over and setting up those bot lane dives. So it's something that when you look at this 2v2, especially as a fan who's not used to historically watching LPL, you think of, but here it's been done before.
Let's go into Summoner's Rift. Game number 2. Ezreal flying backwards with his pet seagull. Whatever that thing is.
That is definitely not a seagull.
Not a seagull.
I don't know what seagulls look like in Australia, but
a seagull who's eaten way too many chips. All right, FPX nailed down game 1. It was actually really exciting. Time to rewind if you're a fan. But coming into game 2, FPX have a hell of a lot of scaling there.
yes, they do. And so when you look at Ezreal, right, it's like, okay, he can maneuver around these fights, he can get away. Not against the Kassadin. Kassadin's going to be able to stick on him quite easily, and that's why we see here with the Colonel kind of favoring FPX at all points, except exactly at like 39 minutes for some reason.
What happens at 39 minutes? I'm going to write that down. 39 minutes. Colonel
says
Colonel
no.
says eStar. All right.
Oh, God.
Well, maybe the early invade will bring some hope here for eStar. Because I want to see a game 3. This has already been a really exciting start to the series. And them invading will get the ward plus start the red buff. And FPX are just backing away.
Yeah, instead, FPX just going to opt into splitting the map. Obviously, we already see Tien doing the enemy red as well. So when you see a split map like this, to me, it does kind of signal that Wei wants to look to put a lot of pressure on the bot lane, maybe let Wink and Xiaoxi start stacking a wave, and then look for an early dive on bot lane.
But I don't know how Volibear survives a 1 versus 2. It's going to be interesting to note because for Khan, it's Conqueror versus Conqueror. A lot of the Volibear so far we've seen, it's Grasp of the Undying, Conqueror. We've seen some PTA in the LEC, I believe, as well.
Yeah, so those are the 3 common ones, right? PTA is if you're running into a lane where you want to opt for short trades.
As Exhaust down, you said aggressive, and Crisp has been aggressed on by Xiaoxi and Wink.
Yep,
Good
so
trade back, but
good,
Severum is available.
Good trades, and we've talked about how Tahm Kench is a strong laning champion, and Ezreal is as good as you are with your skill shots, so overall coming out ahead, and they are getting a bit of a bigger wave, and FunFun will be able to crash this in right now, so it makes you wonder if eStar will look bot, but when you look at Wei's mana in health bar, you wouldn't expect them to be able to.
Also, diving a Leona can sometimes be a little bit risky. As Tien's coming mid, FunFun's pushed out, Sonic Wave.
Oh.
Misses, FunFun with a nice little side step down, and top
hey.
side, yet when Sky Splitter hits, you're screwed. As W active does a lot more damage. Khan has to be careful. He's at half health.
And that was beautiful with him hitting the Thundering Smash first, right, to stun up Khan and allow all the other damage to also hit.
Well, Wei's a level up onto Tien, who's only 2. Flag and drag. Sonic connects. Away he goes. FunFun now spotted out as well. But they're going to continue forward. Not again. This could go badly. But
Great
LWX
read
is low.
from Tien. Tien is only level 2, but I don't think eStar will be able to pull this off. They don't even have a wave.
Into the Zenith Blade, the Crisp flash as well. Wei, Sonic Wave is engaged upon. Tien moves away. Doombi has teleported down. And it happened again, but this time no one dies.
Overall, I feel like it could have been a lot worse for the side of eStar. So,
well, they're not done. Doombi is going to take a chunk himself. A nice force pulse, but Wei's in position. Tien's still here. If a Sonic Wave connects on this Jarvan, he's probably dead.
Still, though, interesting that we do see the standard LPL Ezreal Tahm Kench pairing with a strong mid-jungle duo looking for the dive and using Tahm Kench as a kind of get out of jail free card.
Wink, oh, so close, and with the Gravitum Calibrum, no. Wink thought he could kill LWX.
Hey, I want to say, to live on the verge of greatness.
Hang on, you know we're not done, right? Zenithblade's going to be up soon. Sonic Wave flashed away from the flag and drag, gets a big combo, but Wei is in the middle of so much damage, eaten up by Xiaoxi. Tien running away till he gets back up. It's the 2-for-1 special here at KFC, while FunPlus says, boys, what's my secret herbs and spices taste like that for Doinby?
Overall, great play from FPX. A bit of eStar out-mechanicking themselves, and FPX also out-mechanicking eStar. So comes together to like a nice soup in the end to where FPX get 3 kills to 1.
Meanwhile, Xiaobai is like, can you guys stop doing what you're doing? I'm winning top.
There's a bit of a feels bad man moment for Xiaobai, but you know, going back to the wing play, right? We see it with Rookie and Knight all the time.
Yes.
To find amazing kills and outplays, you typically need to put yourself in a position of danger. So great read by Chris to take advantage and chain that into LWX getting a kill. And here we see Doinby walking forward, trying to get the kill on Xiaoxi. We do see that FunPlus has the TP, looks for it. Overall, just kind of unfortunate that Tien is able to get out. FunPlus actually could have walked the other way and tried to taunt up the other members. Maybe could have worked out better for eStar, but great outplay by FPX.
1 kill for now 2 and 1 on the Aphelios. This is the problem. The scaling members in mid and AD carry, we know what they do. Everyone's watched League of Legends.
We have a BF sword to 2 mana crystals.
Yeah. Ooh. Doesn't matter about the CS disadvantage anymore. Doesn't matter that FunPlus 15 up over Doinby. This game set up for FPX success. 600 gold lead. Snowball has begun. But eStar, at the very least, keeping this game alive, moving forward with the Dragon. You saw topside trades, and we see that FunPlus has a kill as well. So heading towards the 6 you were talking about in Game 1 and now Game 2, the diving will not stop.
And I would think that eStar just going to keep looking towards the bot lane. When FPX have taken that, Mordekaiser's on the top side, right? You have the Death Realm. It's going to be extremely hard to dive. This time, it looks a bit dicey. Maybe you can try to pull it off, but you'd be coming out off the slimmest of margins to where here in the bot lane, we saw how it could work the first time around. If they had a wave on that initial dive, it could have looked completely different.
Oh, yeah. I'm curious, does Tien keep shadowing this bottom lane for now? Because you can see he's still here on Krugs, red spawning soon.
If you are Tien, if you know your laners do outscale, ultimately, if you can stop Wave from creating action, it's a win.
Okay. Been farming a little bit behind Wave, but picked up a couple assists, so gold in the jungle is even for now.
So to turn that into kind of a more... Oh, God. I love the white flag into, like, the tea time from Caitlyn.
Yeah.
But for a more, like, holistic win condition from FPX, I think as Tien, you just keep shadowing these lanes. We want to see inaction from the side of FPX. You don't need to do anything. You know you outscale. You have the Aphelios. You have the Kassadin. The less that happens, the better. For the side of eStar, it is going to be about creating these dives in the side lanes, or even just looking towards top. You know you have that natural pressure from the matchup and trying to convert that into a Rift Herald, and then looking for a dive.
I'm also scared, though, because Doinby has Catalyst so early. Able to push out the wave now that he's 6, and he can always match with Riftwalk. Won't be as quick as the Hero's Entrance, but will be there too.
Let's remember, here in the LPL, we draft Kassadin. We somehow get 2 or 3 kills in 5 minutes, and then we win the game.
You know why it's drafted? Because we skirmish so much. And the risk of
That's
getting
not how it's supposed to work.
I know, but it's the LPL.
You're not supposed to draft Kassadin for level 4 skirmishing.
Because you don't have anything.
You don't have anything.
He did a bit of damage before.
The funny part is that it's always the Kassadin that ends up with the kills.
Yes.
And
somehow.
it doesn't look like a choice. It doesn't look like the team's like, oh guys, back off, let's give the Kassadin the kills. It just kind of happenstance.
With the no damage he has. This Wei is invading towards the top side. Level 6 Cataclysm's available. TM wants to stick around for the smite, but the Sky Splitter with a kill. That's greedy from the jungler, and he goes down.
I love this. eStar finding that third option. We talked about, oh, maybe a dive in bot or getting a Herald in topside, saying, no, we have full prio topside. Let's just invade Tien first, get the kill, and then turn that into a Herald.
But you know what? Bottom lane of FPX got 2 bits of turret plating. Let's bring up the conversation again. Rift Herald and a kill versus 2 turret plating for an Aphelios. What do you think? Even though it wasn't by choice.
In this circumstance, I don't know. We're already in a state of the game that it doesn't feel like we should be in with this advantage that FPX have had. So ultimately, sure, I feel better as FPX, but at the same time, I should not have a 2-0 casted in a BF sword my Aphelios, probably.
Very true. Dragon's up in 2 minutes, so we'll see what happens from there. eStar picked up the first one while Doinby is going to be engaged on. Shield of Duran flashed away from Because the Rift Walk was only... He jumps back in! Oh, he's ballsy because Tien's coming in as well. The flag and drag away at half health. I thought, no, we're not doing this Corky thing again, but he will survive and push through mid.
And it's always fun to see how bold FPX are willing to be. And Tien's actually looking for more. They do just ping out that FunFun did get the recall off, so not going to be able to actually achieve anything. Now our eyes need to be on where eStar are going to drop this Rift Herald. And just by looking at their comp, you would expect it to be for Wink.
Okay. Wink with success in game 1. Now has a Sheen and the tier. That BF sword still sitting there, but LWX has sat in lane for quite a while Chris gets a recall off. Into the Severin, should be fine down here, knowing also that Tien is nearby.
Yep. But let's also remember that FunFun does have the ultimate up, so we should expect to see eStar start trying to make a play happen. We see that he's just pushing in a wave now, so he's going to have a window to abuse his tempo and look for a play on sides if he wants to.
Bear.
There's a bear.
Bear senses.
What does the bear sense? There was nothing there.
He wanted to look at Doomby, I don't know. I guess it's super hard to gank a Cassidy now. As Graviton, that should lock down Wink in a second. With Calibrum, really annoying combo. He's going to get it a third time.
Like, really beautiful to see.
Yeah.
Good play coming out from LWX.
Good positivity as well. We also see that Chris going for a bit of a roam. Xiaoxi matching him. That deep ward placed by the Leona moments ago. Dragon's up in 20 seconds as well, so that's important. Tien's down here first.
And it does show that eStar are looking to fight for this by the fact that Wink just threw out that ultimate and try to keep the lane neutral. But Wink also has no mana if eStar did want to fight.
Okay, Felius ultimate. Wink tagged into the mouth. Gets spat back out. Didn't have to flash though, that's good.
And this is just going to be a free dragon for the side of FPX.
Hey, while the dragon's being talked about, just pause. Rod of Ages complete with the stack. Shield of Ran flashed on. That's ambitious. The flag and drag. Doomy gets out though. Cataclysm again. He needs the ulti up. Doesn't have the flashing burner before. Solar Flare can't save him. And the shutdown goes over the way. That's big. That Cassidum was scary.
And now they could drop Herald in mid. And the fact that you have the Cassidum, right, you don't actually have like the greatest of wave clear. Sure, Aphelios will be able to kind of do that job a bit later.
Yep.
But definitely not at that point now.
As long as they get the plating from this. Are they too far away?
They'll get it.
There we go. Look at the gold stream fly. Okay. eStar back up on the gold train. They lead by 200.
Still, when we talk about kind of how the compositions
That's it.
work against each other, even gold feels like FPX are slightly winning in gold,
But
right?
the way the game started, you have to be positive about eStar. Okay? Just a bit.
True.
For now.
I mean, at the same time, the 1 to 2 item mark does feel like where eStar will be stronger.
True.
Volibear with Triforce. Ezreal soon going to complete that mana immune, and especially once he turns it into a Mirror Mana.
Protobelt already picked up. Warriors with Phage. Looks like Black Cleaver coming shortly for Wei. As we're looking at bottom lane, it's a bit quiet. Some would say too quiet. Herald doesn't get mid-turret. I think that was a win in itself for FPX after Doomby goes down, but he's come back to lane. I already mentioned the Rod of Ages is stacking up. I'll be curious if we get a Righteous Glory second or a tier. We haven't seen him pick it up as Tien is caught backing. Wow. Nuked for death.
Yeah, good pick coming from eStar. Just Tien backing on one of eStar's wards, so they feel confident to go for that. Doomby knowing he's in danger, so I'm glad he's not sitting on that knife's edge while waiting in the minion wave. And I wonder if eStar are just going to try to stack and hit this turret, but Crisp is here.
Cataclysm not available, but the Hero's Entrance makes it a bit scary. And Tien, you know, this early game, he's been punished. Game 1 was pretty strong performance from him, but he's been caught out a couple of times here. The usual.
I mean, to be fair, they also have full priority in top and mid, so that's how that first pick ended up happening.
Yep.
And even if he ever did want to, like, duel Wei, well, Wei has a Galio. You have a Cassidum.
And we're doing this again. Flag and drag. Distance created by Doomby. He's going to get harder. He's almost level 11. Walking towards the blue buff that Xiaobai is stealing away. Give it to the volley there.
Ultimately, just eStar doing a great job of playing around their prios and top side. And the next thing we probably need to keep our eye on is the second Rift Herald and when it spawns. Which actually is apparently going to be soon.
Yep, under a minute. Khan's rotating here as well. They're not stopping. Wei waiting in the brush. This is a choke for eStar, though. I think Khan's going to be crucial. They don't know where he is for now. Over with the blast cone. Here he is into Xiaobai. The Death Grasp pulls in Wei, but no ulti burnt. Wei at half health. The Herald timing still under a minute.
And Wei still doesn't have Cataclysm, so we don't expect eStar to be making an aggressive play around this point, but they're going to get off these recalls, and once again, Herald is spawning, so that's where we want to look for the side of eStar.
Waiting for that golden hourglass, so it shows us it's 20 seconds. You know what's really cool on the Chinese client? We get timers built into the...
Is that cool?
That is cool.
I
mean, everyone gets it.
I don't really like it.
What do you mean you don't like it?
And
being a jungler's never felt so easy. Say,
he didn't clarify. There's a timer on everything.
Everything.
There's a timer on absolutely
your
everything.
Your mini-map has numbers on it. It's constantly ticking down.
And it is not great.
And
it's not fun.
Your allies' ultimates, the little green circles above the mini-map. Timer. It's great. What do you mean it's not fun? You feel so intelligent.
No, I feel...
The dragons, you know?
I feel... Maybe it feels good because I know my dumb teammates need it, but...
Oh, wow!
I love
Honor level 1. Wow, you, sir.
Hey,
you're going to...
I'm the highest honor level possible.
This is why we can't play together. I'm so positive.
I get keys and chests all the time.
Yeah, because no one knows how toxic you really are.
Hey, I'm going to praise FPX because guess what? Despite having losing topside, the map has swapped. We've switched lanes. We have the bot lane in topside now. FPX is going to use that to secure the Rift Herald themselves.
And do this.
And this game's going forward.
It is. eStar managing to pick up bottom. And topside goes down for FPX. Sorry, mid. Excuse me. Bottom was almost cleared out by the bottom lane duo. Herald's here. Inner turret threatened. And FunPlus has ultis, level 11, so we'll see how far this goes.
Ooh, they're going to go for the dive.
Onto the Graviton. Xiaobai locked on down. Solar Flare, he can't move. He's kicked back out of the Galio ulti. A clean exit by FPX with a Herald charging forward. The turret getting low, but not secured here as FunPlus Phoenix move away.
Wei knows he's in danger. He sees that Khan left, so not willing to 1v1 that Mordekaiser, who is already level 11 as well, and obviously has a Bramble vest as well as his Leandries. But going back to that topside play was nice to see from FPX. Had even one thing gone wrong, we saw all of the members of eStar collapse. It could have turned out completely different.
Gilby's here then. Let's look at the Dragon because Khan ready in position, both level 11. Over the wall, forces way out. Teleport right on top of that flag. The flash dodged from into the Death Realm brings Wei, who can't get the smite. Stolen away by TM, but Volibear is angry. It's Viking music time as Khan comes out of the Death Realm and eStar have the numbers advantage. This Mordekaiser large and in charge, but with the help of the Volibear once again, Xiaobai nails him down. And eStar lose the Dragon, but win the war.
Still, I think this is a very underrated aspect of Mordekaiser that we don't see used well enough too often, is the fact that pulling that jungler into the Death Realm and securing the neutral objective is a bit unfortunate that two go down, especially Tien. Going down to Xiaobai, like you pointed out.
This TP, though, is probably not good. Flashes away. FunPlus, is he going to survive? No. Doomby picks up the kill. And FunPlus, after what was a good fight, yeah, not a good TP.
Yeah, overall, I feel like this is a bit of a moment to slip back into those negative ways and say, that just wasn't the play.
That was not the play. He thought, I Banshees fail, let's get him. And they lose the turret. No, they don't. They almost lose the turret as well. But sorry, the screen's really far away.
Hey, now for FPX, we can start defaulting into this setup where we have pressure in our side lanes. Of course, Volibear will do a decent job in answering either Mordekaiser or Caston at this point in the game.
Okay.
But Galio, not a champion that wants to sit 1v1 against either of them. So we're going to see a bit of this 1-3-1 style come out from FPX and then try to use the pressure from their side lanes to collapse first. For the side of eStar, it's all about making the map smaller, creating this kind of 5v5 setup where Jarvan is jumping into the backline with the Galio and Xiaobai leaping in there as well.
Because I was going to ask you, because of how the map is now set out with big, long lanes, which you mentioned, FPX are going to love this, seems pretty hard for eStar to interact with that dive, that all-in wombo, unless it is around an objective.
The great part is, though, that you do have the Jarvan, you have the lockdown with the Cataclysm, as well as the enemy does have an immobile AD carry, so if LWX just oversteps a little bit, or we do get in front of a Dragon or a Baron, he should be an easy target. But let's remember that FPX can teamfight as well. They have a great front line in the Leona and the Mordekaiser. You have a huge DPS on LWX, and Caston is going to do so much work keeping Wink out of these fights.
Yeah.
And then the rest of eStar is going to be left scratching their head. Where's our DPS?
You have to look at so many different angles, right? For Wink is like, where is this Cassidon? Khan is going to be on top of, well, be FunFun, could be Wink. I think you need a QSS this game.
True. But this is also why I prefer FPX's composition, because you have two ways of playing out the game, right? You can play through sides and really pull the members of eStars across the map and try to abuse those windows. Or two, when you get strong enough with your late game carries, you can't just opt into the 5v5, and if Dwinby is playing it well, you would expect him to come out on top, to where eStars have a very singular, narrow win condition, and it's even hard to execute against what FPX have drafted.
At least the side of Xiaobai has 3 kills. He's got the Trinity Force. He's building towards the second item. I think the positives on eStar, we can still look at individual members. Then we have to talk about how they group. Of course, I want to come back to FPX, though, because Doomby just hit his 10th stack at 20 minutes of the Rod of Ages. He has the Archangel Staff, which is turning into a Seraph, I'm sure, soon. This Cassidon's on the verge of the 3rd item. Now, Lyric, remember, he builds Righteous Glory on his Cassidon, on his Rise.
Yes,
so let's look out for that and see if it comes third.
I mean, that's also another great item for sticking on top of a really mobile AD carrier like Ezreal, right?
As FPX finally get this mid turret, took a while, but at 20 minutes, it goes down. Baron up sitting there calmly. While Dragon's up in 1:15, FPX, if they get this next one, will be heading towards Soul Point with another Infernal. And on a Cassidon, that feels good as well.
Exactly. I like that you highlight the Cassidon, because now we really want to see them abuse this Cassidon pick while Dragon's about to spawn. Keep Mordekaiser in the side lane, keep Cassidon in the side lane. Try to force FunFun or even Wink to go answer, and then send Dwinby over to move. You obviously can't overextend at this point yet because the Dragon's still not up. So if they are able to pick you off, the other members of FPX aren't able to find an answer.
Teleport.
FPX instead just want to find a pick on Xiaobai.
Level 13 on Doomby. He has a stopwatch just in case. The Sky Splitter will be dodged away from, but into the Death Realm. Khan wants to fight this Volibear with a bit of darkness, and unfortunately, Peter needs to be called over the wall. Escapes for now, but Doomby has so much chase. He hits down on the blast cone, but the rest of the team are here. Doomby has to disengage, and that was a really nice escape when Xiaobai looked to be dead.
Yeah, that was really clean play coming out from him. Overall, I don't think that was the play that FPX should have been looking to make. Still an interesting play, though, and now Xiaobai will have to back, and his TP isn't exactly up yet.
No,
Looks like there's still a few seconds left on it.
Stormbringer not there is a team-fighting ulti, but
still,
wish they had it. Shalcy's walking in blindly. The hero's entrance forced, but now he's by himself until Wei joins the fray. It's going to be the Justice Punch away while Khan gets himself known as well, while in the backline, LWX is the Ninja Gaiden once again. Flies through while the rest of FPX flash forward. The Stormbringer has been slowed down and taken back with the execution at the ready. A shutdown to Tien. And FunFun left on his lonesome while eStar have been outplayed. Doomby only knows forward, and that's the way they went in that fight.
That was absolutely beautiful, coming from LWX to find all the damage on the carries of eStar. And then guess what? Dwinby's on Cassidon. He can easily follow that up. And that Chelsea walking into FPX looks a bit reminiscent from last game, but I don't think he gets the tilted excuse any longer.
Because Wei can't kick anyone into the team this time.
This is a new game. We come with new mentals. So sorry, Chelsea, just a bit of a misplay from you, but great play coming out from FPX to punish.
There's so many big members on FPX, and this game is looking pretty well done so far. A 2-0 Felios, a 4-1 Cassidon. And you talked about LWX in this fight. We're going to look at Doomby's Pro View first.
Yeah, it does fade out the ult from Galio. Also, times the summoner spells right during that fight, which is pretty interesting. We see LWX get all the damage down, then Dwinby just having the confidence to flash and knows he's strong enough on the Cassidon to secure a lot of these kills. And we see from his runes, even his mana returning, right?
Yeah.
So is able to just continuously keep going and secure all these kills for FPX.
So nice. He gets half his mana bar back.
I just love how he time spells in the middle of a team fight.
Yeah. Again, showing up. And while we're criticizing Doomby for being what was the weakest member in the past couple of weeks, this series, Doomby has been okay.
But Ooh, actually, kind of a
Yeah,
fight.
Xiaobai might be caught out, but into the Stormbringer right in the middle. Tanky enough for now. Gets at half health with the Hero's entrance on LWX. They want the FLICKR, and it's minus 200 years if they can get him, but he's still alive. Fun into the middle. FPX low, but not low enough, and TN is doing some blind mechanics in the back line. eStars have been blown up.
2 games in a row, we see beautiful baits. First game is from Khan. This game from LWX just baiting all the members of eStar in, and another ace secured from FPX. Gonna be an easy Baron, then they can just play out the game from all 3 lanes.
And how do you stop it from here with a Cassidy and a Mordekaiser? That seems to be the nail that eStar's gonna have trouble getting out.
I want to take this back to the point you were making about Duinby not showing up, but also FPX as a whole kind of underperforming, and you even see it here where LWX is having a really great game.
Yep.
To where in game 1 you could be like, okay, he looked a bit shaky, right? And it just shows that we still see the members of FPX stepping up from game to game, showing us their brilliance and showing the possible heights that their team has and what they can do, you know, going into a playoff situation.
I'm waiting for that follow back of eStar trying to find the fight, or at least eStar just trying to get what they can get. But FPX Baron in hand. 6k gold lead, about 6.5 at that. Third item on the way. Xiaoxi's caught on out again. Xiaoxi tried to get out with the Abyssal Voyage and was punished.
We highlighted before the match started, he was the rookie of the split in spring. He was the first all-pro support, voted over Crisp himself.
Yeah.
This series, not showing up.
Nope. This series, Crisp. 150% as Wei gets pulled back in, and even Khan, who has had the quietest game out of anyone in FPX, is pretty large and in charge. Walk forward, they say. Inhibitor now exposed, and FPX looking pretty good here at 25 minutes in the game. eStars require that miracle fight that in 2 games in a row now they have not been given.
I also want to say I like that FPX are playing this from a 1-4 setup rather than a 1-3-1.
Tien gonna go in. Kick against the wall available. The Sky Splitter once more. Tien gets poked on down. Fun pokes them himself. Solar Flare onto 2. Doomby jumps on in. The Wobble available. The Stormbringer lines them up as LWX gets the first. And with Severum, he starts spinning once again. Underneath the turret. This one's over because everyone only goes forward. That's how you dive against eStar.
And just don't let Duinby get casted. He looks so dangerous on this champion.
We can do it better. Shout to FPX. And early kills onto a Cassidy nets a win. Who knew? Alongside FLICKR, FPX are looking clean as they take off another playoff potential in eStar, down 2-0.
27-minute win coming out of a Cassidy and a FLICKR. But I guess it also goes the other way where eStar draft this composition that needs to get more ahead in the early game, and when it fails, it just becomes so easy for FPX to run them over.